In the heart of a small town, atop a grassy hill, stood Walter, a big, round, bright red water tower. Walter's job was important. He held water for everyone below. But Walter had a secret. When the wind blew just right, he would whistle a magical, happy tune. From his high perch, Walter watched the world cars like ladybugs, colorful rooftops, and children playing in the park. But nothing made him happier than the wind, his best friend. When the wind tickled his legs and swirled around his belly, Walter would get ready to sing. Sometimes the wind was a gentle whisper, and Walter's song was soft, just a secret between him and the breeze. Woo, whistle. Woo, he'd hum, so quietly only the sparrows on his railing could hear. The sparrows felt safe and cozy, listening to Walter's gentle tune. Other times the wind was bold, rushing up the hill with a great big whoosh. On those days, Walter's whistle was loud and proud, echoing across the town. Woo, whistle, woo, he'd sing, making everyone look up and smile. The townspeople loved Walter's cheerful song. It was the sound of a perfect windy day. Walter wasn't just a water tower, he was the town's secret musician. Every breeze brought a new melody, and Walter was always ready to play. Whether soft or strong, his music filled the air with joy. The wind and Walter made every day special for the town below. And so, whenever the wind danced, Walter sang his heart out. The hill was never quiet, and neither was Walter, for as long as the wind blew, Walter's song would fill the sky. Down in the park, the Curious Crew played. Lily in yellow boots, Tom with his superhero cape, Squeaky the adventurous squirrel, and Pip the bluebird. One breezy afternoon, Lily stacked dandelions, Tom tried to fly, Squeaky hid an acorn, and Pip sang on a branch. Suddenly, a soft whistle drifted down from the hill. Woo! Whistle! Whoo! Lily paused, eyes wide. What's that sound? Tom listened. It's like a giant flute. Squeaky froze, tail puffed, and Pip tilted his head, curious. The sound was new, a mystery. Lily pointed up the hill. It's coming from the water tower, Tom grinned. Is Walter singing? Squeaky scampered up a tree for a better look. Pip fluttered higher. The whistle grew louder, inviting them closer. Whoo! Whistle! Whoo! The Curious Crew loved mysteries, and this was the best one yet. They decided to climb the hill and get a closer listen. With excitement, they set off toward Walter. The adventure had begun. The wind carried Walter's song, guiding them up the hill. The friends couldn't wait to discover the secret behind the music. The closer they got, the clearer the melody became. The Curious Crew was ready for anything. The Curious Crew marched up the hill, boots stomping, cape flapping, paws scurrying, wings fluttering. As they neared Walter, the wind picked up and his song grew brighter. It wasn't too quiet or too loud, a perfect happy tune. Woo, whistle, woo, sang Walter. Lily giggled. He really is singing. Tom tried to copy the sound, but his whistle was tiny and squeaky. Everyone laughed, swept up in the cheerful music. The melody made their feet tap and shoulders wiggle. Squeaky forgot his acorn and tried to whistle too, a silly cheep cheep squeak. He danced, spinning and hopping to Walter's tune. Pip landed on Walter's ladder, closest of all, and chirped along. Chirp, chirp, whistle, chirp, he sang back. Walter seemed to smile, loving his new audience. The wind swirled, and Walter's song wrapped around his friends. The music was contagious. Everyone wanted to join in. The hill became a stage for laughter and song. Walter's melody brought everyone together. The Curious Crew felt like part of something magical. The wind, the tower, and the friends made perfect harmony. Every note was a celebration. Walter's song was for everyone. The adventure was just beginning. The music filled the sky. The wind turned playful, blowing in short, funny bursts. Puff, poot, pfft. Walter's song became silly and choppy. Woo, whisk, poodle. It sounded like Walter was telling jokes. The Curious Crew collapsed in laughter. Tom puffed his cheeks and made a loud pfft sound. Lily crossed her eyes and made an even sillier face. Walter answered with more goofy noises. The kids and Walter had a silly sound conversation. No words, just giggles. Squeaky found a hollow acorn and tapped a beat. Talk, talk, talk. Pip chirped quick notes. Pip, pip, peep. Together, they formed a wacky orchestra. The wind loved the game, blowing harder and making Walter's song even funnier. Woo, hee, hee, woo! Walter sounded like he was laughing too. Everyone joined in, kids, animals, and the wind. The hill rang with joy and silliness. They weren't just listening, they were making music together. Walter was more than a water tower. He was the leader of their band. The wind, the tower, and the friends played the silliest symphony ever. Laughter echoed across the park. Making music with friends was the best fun in the world. The wind's game brought everyone closer. After the laughter, Lily listened closely. The wind was soft and low, and so was Walter's song. Hoo! Woo! It rumbled like a sleepy giant. His song is different now, Lily noticed. The wind is slow, so his song is slow. Tom agreed, just as a quick gust zipped past Walter's roof, making a high-pitched whee! The wind makes high and low sounds, Tom exclaimed. Squeaky yawned at the low notes, curling up for a nap. Pip perked up at the high notes, singing back with a proud chee. The animals understood. Low sounds for resting, high sounds for singing. The wind is the musician, and Walter is the instrument, Lily realized. Tom nodded. Soft wind, quiet music. Hard wind, loud music. Low wind, low notes. High wind, high notes. The mystery was solved. It was musical science. Walter wasn't just a water tower, he was a giant red wind instrument. The friends looked at Walter with new eyes. Every breeze brought a new lesson. The wind and Walter made music together, teaching everyone how to listen. The curious crew felt like real scientists and musicians. The hill was their classroom, and Walter was their teacher. The world was full of music if you just listened. The adventure had turned into discovery. Walter's secret was out, and it was wonderful. The friends couldn't wait for the next song. The wind's music was everywhere. Suddenly, the world grew still. Then a giant gust of wind roared up the hill. Walter stood tall, ready for his grand finale. The wind slammed into him, grasses bent, Tom's cape flew, and Lily's hair whipped around. Squeaky clung to the grass, Pip gripped the ladder. Walter sang his loudest song ever. Woo! Whistle hoo! The sound was huge, echoing across the whole town. It was a celebration, a powerful blast of music. Lily and Tom laughed, letting the music wash over them. Walter's note lasted a whole minute, his red sides vibrating with joy. Squeaky's ears tingled, Pip's feathers ruffled. Then, as quickly as it came, the wind softened. Walter's song faded. Loud, then medium, then a gentle whoo. Silence returned, the sun peeked out, and the show was over. The curious crew sat, smiling, ears ringing with the wonderful noise. The grand concert had ended, but the memory would last. Walter had given them the best performance ever. The hill felt magical. As the wind calmed, the hill grew peaceful. Walter stood quietly, his secret safe with the curious crew. They knew he was more than a water tower, he was a musician and a friend. Lily listened, Pip's chirp, leaves rustling, a distant car, Squeaky's acorn. The world was full of little songs. Tom listened too, a dog's bark, his zippers jingle, his own heartbeat. You just have to listen, he said. The adventure had taught them to hear the music all around. Listening was its own adventure. The friends waved goodbye to Walter. Thank you for the concert, Lily called. Tom whistled back, sounding a little more like Walter. Squeaky chittered, Pip sang a sweet goodbye. They walked down the hill, listening to every sound. The world was a giant orchestra, and they were the audience. Whenever the wind blew, Walter would be ready to play again. The music never really ended. The world was full of songs waiting to be heard.